Now on CoastTV News.
Still no representation with Delaware's legislative season winding down. District 20 continues to be left in the dark. Immigration activity in public schools, how Delaware Democrats are looking to protect the school community.
This is CoastTV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Elisa Weber and welcome to CoastTV News Midday. Our top story this morning, a story we have been closely following here at CoastTV. The Delaware General Assembly is not scheduled to meet today. However, Thursday was another day in the legislation session that District 20 Representative Stell Parker Selby was absent. Parker Selby, who represents roughly 23,000 voters in the Milton area, has missed every single House vote this year. That's at least 118 votes. Politicians have confirmed that Parker Selby had a stroke, and with less than 7 days left in this year's General Assembly, the Speaker of the House cannot remove Parker Selby and declines to call for her resignation, but said this.
We're going to focus on getting virtual voting passed through our rules, and then that way we can most likely see Rep. Parker Selby.
Do you think that will happen before the end of this session?
We're working on it.
What would you like the people of the 20th District to hear from you directly?
That we are working on virtual voting. Thanks for
But you don't expect her to come here in person to do her job?
Keep in mind, even if virtual voting comes into play, Stell Parker Selby has not been seen at Legislative Hall all year, and only one photo of her has been released to the media. The General Assembly is back in session next week. And for the full story, including those questions that remain unanswered, you can head to coasttv.com. This is now going to bring us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know what matters most in Stell Parker Selby's absence. So far, looks like a different poll is up. We're going to move on. And a violent robbery in Ocean City back in 2022 has now led to decades-long prison sentences for two people tied to a much larger crime spree across Maryland. Police say Takala Robinson and Jordan Moses robbed multiple victims at gunpoint over several days in Ocean City. Investigators later linked them to a larger criminal group responsible for shootings and a murder in early June 2022. This year, both were sentenced. Robinson got 25 years. Moses was sentenced to life with all but 45 years suspended. We are now taking a live look outside at a busy Rehoboth Beach, and our first meteorologist, Bob Trahey, is going to join us. Bob, I think people listened this morning when we said get to the beach early, because later today might not be the best conditions for the beach.
Absolutely, Elisa. I think they were watching us during the morning newscast. A lot of beach umbrellas out there for good reason. It's beautiful. We're looking at 70s at the coast right now, but then you hop inland and it is warm. 85 in Laurel and Georgetown, 86 Millsboro, 89 in Red and Salisbury, 85, Seaford 87, and our dew point temperatures. Anytime you see low to mid 70s, that's telling us it's extremely muggy. So we've got feels like temperatures in the lower 90s in Salisbury, feels like 91 in Georgetown, 96 in Seaford. So take it slow out there. Make sure you stay hydrated. As we're seeing some mid to high level clouds building in, we had a front dropping to the south as a cold front, and now it's stalled out as a stationary front, and that will act as a track for any kind of disturbances to kick off showers and storms as we go into the afternoon. Right now, seeing some showers around Norfolk, nothing over us, but we'll continue to watch that as it's very warm early afternoon. This will be the warmest time of day, mid to upper 80s inland, 70s at the beaches. Then watch for those pop-up showers into the afternoon hours, maybe a couple of thunderstorms and maybe some very heavy rain. We have a juicy atmosphere, so these storms could put down a lot of rain in a short period of time, so keep that in mind. And very muggy as we go into the evening hours. Storms beginning to diminish, but very warm, and I think we will see those storms isolated to scattered this afternoon, and unfortunately another unsettled weekend. And have a plan B for Dad on Sunday. I'll have more on the increasing rain chances coming up a little bit later in the newscast.
Thank you, Bob. Faculty at Warwick Community College are calling out what they say is stalled contract talks. On Thursday, teachers gathered at the college pushing for fair pay and better working conditions. They say admin salaries have jumped 30% in 5 years, while faculty wages have remained stagnant. The group is demanding a 7% raise and more support, such as transparent pay scale, equitable teaching loads, and better course release time. Delaware Democrats have introduced a bill that would restrict school resource officers and school constables from cooperating with law enforcement agencies in immigration matters. This is unless they have permission from Delaware's Attorney General. Advocates are pushing for the bill to pass, saying schools should not be involved with ICE operations.
They should not be the ones cooperating with ICE. They should not be the ones telling ICE how many, who our children probably the names of these students when their parents come to pick them up.
And the bill now heads to the House floor for further consideration. President Trump is facing backlash over his deployment of the National Guard to deal with the ICE protests across the country. Overnight, a California appeals court siding with President Trump in his National Guard tug-of-war with California. The decision just hours after a lower court ruled the president had overstepped his authority. NBC's Chris Pallone shows us more on these escalating tensions.
As anti-ICE protests spread from California to cities across the country, a federal appeals court says President Trump can continue to direct National Guard troops he sent to Los Angeles to help quell violent demonstrations. The reversal just hours after a lower court gave California Governor Gavin Newsom a sweeping but short-lived victory.
Today is a big day for the Constitution of the United States, for our democracy.
While migrant roundups continue, the president acknowledging his crackdown is impacting businesses and appears to be considering a policy change.
We can't do that to our farmers, and leisure too, hotels.
The passionate debate over immigration reaching from the streets
I have questions for the secretary
to the highest levels of government. California Senator Alex Padilla forced from the room and briefly handcuffed after interrupting Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem during a news conference.
I began to ask a question. I was almost immediately forcibly removed from the room. I was not arrested. I was not detained.
Padilla's Democratic colleagues outraged.
That sickened my stomach. The manhandling of a United States senator. We need immediate answers to what the hell went on.
Secretary Noem insisting it was a case of mistaken identity.
We sat down for 10 to 15 minutes and talked about the fact that nobody knew who he was.
Meanwhile, final preparations are underway for the nation's first military parade in more than 30 years Saturday. The forecast in Washington not looking good.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the tanks at all. It doesn't affect the soldiers. They're used to it. They're tough, smart.
The parade celebrates the Army's 250th anniversary. Chris Pallone, NBC News, Washington.
Coming up, anniversary celebration commences. We'll tell you how the nation will honor the beginning of several major military agencies. A major military milestone was honored and celebrated Thursday at Legislative Hall. The Army, Navy, and Marine Corps are each marking their 250th anniversary this year, and Delaware lawmakers took time to recognize the occasion. Veterans from across the first state, spanning many generations, joined lawmakers to mark the moment. In addition to the ceremony, 3 House resolutions, one from each branch, were introduced.
The House of Representatives wants to show that we are actually taking action to make the veterans honored and special. They deserve it.
And the resolutions were presented by Representatives Halofsky, Short, and Carson. Habitat for Humanity of Wicomico County just got an extra $50,000 in tax credits from the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development. Officials say it's a part of a state program that gives donors half their gifts back as a Maryland tax credit if they give $500 or more. The organization says the money helps fund home repairs for low-income seniors, things like fixing roofs, removing mold, and adding handrails or walk-in showers.
Here's a live look into Laurel. Hazy sunshine, a few clouds. Those clouds not cooling us off yet. 85 headed into the mid to upper 80s this afternoon, but still not as warm as yesterday due to some of that cloud cover, showers and storms this afternoon. Unfortunately, another unsettled weekend. Have a plan B with Dad for Father's Day. Congratulations to Mary Preston DeFranks from Rehoboth Beach on winning a new umbrella from Paul Davis and Coast TV. I'll have your weather forecast coming up after the break. The official start to summer still about a week away, but boy, it's been feeling like it the last couple of days. Lower 90s yesterday with humidity, and it's pretty warm out there again. We've got some sailboats out on Delaware Bay. Everybody partaking in the summer-like conditions. 79 in Lewis, and you'll be into the mid-70s this afternoon, increasing showers as we go into the afternoon hours. And unfortunately for Dad on Sunday, it's not going to be that great weather-wise. So maybe bring Dad shopping or, restaurant, lunch, dinner, any of those. It looks like an indoor kind of a day. 8 a.m. 64, noon 66, and only 70 by 4 p.m. Looking at showers as we go into your Sunday. And it's humid out there today, warm and muggy, highs in the 80s, and do watch for isolated showers and storms this afternoon. Some of those could put down a lot of rain in a short period of time. And for the weekend, with the stalled out front over us, we're going to be seeing periodic showers and storms. And as we saw on that card, cooler for Father's Day. It's not cool right now. 85 in Georgetown, 87 in Seaford, 88 Bridgeville. Whew, getting warm. 87 in Willards. A little cooler at the beaches with 70s from Ocean City up to Rehoboth. 73 there, 76 in Lewis. And it's stifling out there. Anytime we're talking about dew points in the 60s and low to mid 70s, that is very muggy air, that air you can wear. And that is shooting up to feels like temperatures into the mid 90s in Seaford. Feels like 96 there, 92 in Salisbury, and 90 in Gumboro. So take care out there. Stay hydrated with water this afternoon and take frequent breaks if you're outside. We are looking at a light southerly breeze right now. Nothing in the way of precipitation. We're seeing mid to high level clouds and a lot of haze as well, as the stalled out front is laying right over the top of us, and this will act as a track for any kind of disturbances that move along the front. And we're already seeing some showers popping up southern Delmarva off the coast of Norfolk, and watching for showers later today with deeper moisture across the Midwest. And that unfortunately heads our way just in time for the weekend with that stalled out front. Basically through Monday with on and off showers. Temperatures will be a little cooler, but very warm this afternoon. Here's Futurecast at noon, mid to upper 80s. I think this is the warmest time of day with 70s at the coast. And then watch out for these pop-up isolated showers and storms. The atmosphere is very juicy, so we could see very heavy rain in a short period of time into the afternoon and evening hours, cooling us back into the 70s. Maybe some local flooding, especially in poor drainage areas. Then the storms ease after sunset. It's mild and muggy into tomorrow morning with temperatures in the 70s. A mostly cloudy Saturday, and then wind shifting to the east and northeast, getting a little cooler as that front sinks to our south. I still think we're looking at some showers and maybe some thunderstorms as we go into Saturday evening and night. And we're not done as we go into Sunday. Still unsettled with showers and a cooler easterly flow, a real raw day, and maybe even heavier rain building in with low pressure on Monday. So we've got a stretch of unsettled weather as it's very muggy as we go through the next several days, even very humid into Saturday, and then once again into the early to middle part of next week. And you see some blue areas showing up. Anywhere you see a storm, well, you could be seeing heavy amounts of rain, heavier than these amounts, maybe up to an inch or two. We're looking at mid 80s today from Georgetown to Seaford and Laurel. Heads up for showers and storms. 87 in East and Cambridge, 85. And then for Maryland, 85 in Salisbury, with Ocean City at 80 and 81 in Chincoteague. Paul Davis, 7-day forecast. Weekend with the storm Saturday, 79, only 72 on Father's Day with showers, more showers into Monday, but then warming up by Wednesday, 86, and by Juneteenth Thursday, 89 and partly cloudy skies.
Coming up tonight on DSN, your game of the night at 8 o'clock, Mardella takes on North Dorchester in softball. Then at 10:30, it's the final score. And there's a programming change that you need to know of today. The U.S. Open will air from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Then Wheel of Fortune will begin afterwards at 7, followed by NBC Nightly News at 7:30. There will be no CoastTV News at 5 or 6 this evening. If you're heading to the beach today, be sure to take a break from the waves and look up at the sky. The Ocean City Air Show is 1 day away from liftoff, which means you might see some aircrafts fly into town today. And one local took a seat along the boardwalk with hopes to see one for herself.
I just love watching the airplanes. I think the Blue Angels are coming, and I love to see them. I haven't seen them since I was a kid, probably.
In case you're wondering yourself, the Blue Angels will be making an appearance on both days this weekend. New overnight, Salisbury is stepping up efforts to keep the Wicomico River clean. The city is partnering with local groups to reduce trash and protect the environment. According to leaders, crews recently installed a debris catching net along the Riverwalk to stop litter from storm drains before it hits the water. It's part of a larger effort with groups like Shore Progress and the Wicomico Clean Initiative. Coming up, weekend fun. There's quite a few ways to enjoy yourself on Delmarva, and we have all your cool things to do after the break. From high-flying jets to local festivals, there are quite a few ways to enjoy yourself on Delmarva this weekend, and Christina DeRobertis has your cool things to do.
If you're looking to fill your weekend with a bit of adrenaline, you'll want to head to Ocean City and look up. The U.S. Navy Blue Angels headline Ocean City's air show Saturday and Sunday. You'll also catch the F-16 Viper demo team, A-10 Thunderbolts, and more. Rainbow flags will fly high in Milton Saturday for the Milton Pride Festival. From 4 to 8, enjoy food trucks and entertainment, all while celebrating diversity and love. Georgetown's EMS Carnival continues until Saturday night with games and rides for a good cause. Plus, Saturday is Worldwide Knit in Public Day. Members of Lewis Library's In the Loop Knitting and Crocheting Group will meet at Mary Vessels Park to knit the day away. Visitors and locals are welcome to stop by. Find all the details on CoastTV.com under Cool Things to Do.
Otherwise, we're seeing clouds, haze, mild conditions in Ocean View, maybe even a spider web on the camera there. Afternoon showers and storms, maybe some heavy rain, then an unsettled weekend on the way with more showers and storms. Call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone for your latest forecast. Sponsored by Brockstead Mandalis Federico. Your 10-day forecast is coming up next. Hazy sunshine this afternoon, warm and muggy, mid to upper 80s, feeling like 90s at times. Watch out for isolated showers and storms that could put down a lot of rain into the afternoon hours, but those will tend to wane as we go through the evening and overnight. Paul Davis 10-day forecast, an unsettled weekend, 79 storms Saturday, only 72 for Dad on Sunday. Have a plan B with showers there, more rain into Monday, but then warming up after that by Juneteenth. Thursday, 89, and the first day of summer is Friday with 86 degrees, and crossing our fingers, Elisa, for the first weekend of summer looking nice. Let's hope.
That would be amazing, Bob. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Midday. And for more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. Don't forget to join us for Coast TV News at 11 later this evening. Have a great day.